Hi, I'm Garrick DeMeyer from Royal Constrictor Designs. I'd like to show you a couple more clutches that I've just hatched out pretty recently. It's late January, actually January 31st, and I'm still hatching babies out right now, which is really unusual. But I think I've got about 20 clutches incubating yet, and a few more clutches yet to be laid, and lots of breeding going on too. So it's going to be pretty much a non-stop thing here. This clutch I wanted to show you is a clutch from a lemon blast clown bred to a bumblebee clown. So it's kind of nice, all clown babies, clown combos. This is a lemon blast clown. And this one is a bumblebee clown. Really, really nice clean pattern on that one. This one's got a lot of muddiness on it, but at least you can see the pattern really well on it. And then this one is a spinner blast clown. It's my second time, I think, hatching a spinner blast. And I actually thought that this look might be a killer blast at first until I actually hatched a killer blast. And he is not cooperating. She has not shed yet. But this is the killer blast clown. And I don't necessarily know how I feel about producing a clown with very little pattern. I mean, you can see the pattern along there, but it's really, really faint. I'm sure it'll brighten up a bit as it sheds and starts to grow, but it's going to essentially be a pretty patternless snake. And with clowns, I kind of prefer to produce things with real distinct patterns so you can take advantage of the characteristics of the clown. But still, genetically, that's a pretty cool snake. You know, lots of neat things that you can produce with it. So yeah, all these came out of one clutch. I love breeding visual recessives to visual recessives. It's just so great. And I like that I got a little bit of everything in this clutch too. So hopefully this girl will shed within a few days, and the next time I do another video I can maybe show her. I'm gonna probably, for the next few clutch, new clutch hatching videos, they'll be pretty short because I'm not hatching a lot at one time. So I'll try to come out with them fairly recently. So hopefully next week I'll have another one, or at least within the next 2 weeks I'll have another one. But I'm not going to have a lot of clutches to show at any given time. So you'll just have to see the ones that I am hatching, and then as summer comes on, or at least late spring, hopefully I'll have more clutches hatching at any given time, so then I can go into my videos from last year where I'm showing, 6 or 7 clutches at a time. Okay, so that is from Lemon Blast Clown bred to Bumblebee Clown. And they're going to go back into their container. You can see he's got really blue eyes right now. He's very, very deep into that shed. Probably end up shedding by tomorrow. I was hoping he was going to shed by today. The other ones shed out, I think, yesterday or the day before. So she's just being a little pokey. Okay. So the next clutch that I have, I'll show this clutch real quick. This is from a Tofino bred to a Mojave het albino. There's a Mojave. So normal albino. Another normal albino. And another Mojave. So I won't know for sure which ones of these turn out to be Tofinos until they start to grow a little bit. With the albino Mojaves, I can kind of see a little bit of maybe very slight lavender, but they change tremendously as they get bigger. The Tofino Mojaves are actually one of the coolest Tofino combos. They're really, really neat. They're hard to describe. They look a little bit different from most Tofino morphs, but they're really, really cool. So I've held back almost all of them that I've produced so far. Whether these are Tofinos or albinos, these two will be up for sale, and I actually have 2 or 3 regular albino Mojaves for sale right now too. But the coolest thing about these is that I can use them to make cherry bombs, which is an albino super Mojave, or basically a red-eyed leucistic. So I'm going to be doing that with both Mojave and lesser here over the next year or two. Hopefully this upcoming season I'll be hatching some cherry bombs or red-eyed leucistics. And then of course there's a regular het albino in that clutch too. Trying to get out of producing the byproducts like this as much as I can, but I used the Mojave het albino as the mother of this clutch, so I guess only hitting on one non-albino snake is a pretty nice odds. Yeah, Toffinos are tough. I think these are actually both going to end up being Toffino Mojaves. They're tough because even when they get bigger and the lavender comes in them, they just don't show up well on pictures. Like the Toffino Enchis, Toffino Pinstripes, Toffino Mojaves, Toffino Black Pastels, all those are so incredible looking, but they're really, really hard to get the lavender to show up in pictures. Of course, if I could learn to take better pictures, then maybe they would, but right now I just can't get the lavenders to show up quite right. Okay, I'm going to put these guys away and find the next clutch. Okay, next clutch is from a Fire Pied bred to a pastel GHI het Pied. A few years ago, I bred a Pied to, or I think it was a pastel Pied to a GHI, and I produced some GHI het Pieds and a pastel GHI het Pied, and they were all female. So I just decided to keep them all. And this is what I produced out of this particular clutch. Here's just a pastel het Pied, kind of a lower quality color-wise one anyway. Here's another pastel het Pied. And a Firefly het Pied, a little bit brighter and a lot cleaner than the regular pastel. And then here is a Fire GHI het Pied. And this entire clutch is going to be for sale too, at least I think so. And then this last one here it's a GHI Pied, and I'm almost positive it's got fire in it as well. I've hatched out a couple of GHI Pieds, regular GHI Pieds, and they haven't had the amount of light coloration. Like they've been all kind of looking more like this color in here and not as much of this lightness. So I'm thinking that this is the Fire GHI Pied. Pretty nice snake. I think there's a lot of cool things that you can do with this. I think, well, actually, I have made Coral Glow GHI Pieds too, so they end up being having a lot of purple in them and a lot of real dark oranges. Really cool looking. And I don't even know if I've sexed this one. Let's check it here. That would be a girl, which makes me even more inclined to keep her, but can't keep all of them, so we'll see. Okay, I'm going to put this clutch back, and then I have one more really interesting clutch to show you, and I'm not 100% sure what some of this is. Okay, this clutch is from a Pastavi Enchi Fire bred to a GHI. There's a GHI Mojave. I'm sorry, I get these names screwed up sometimes. This is an Enchi Mojave, and I think this has got fire in it as well. It's a little bit brighter, more blush than a typical Enchi Mojave. Actually, now that I think about it, this is the GHI Enchi Fire Mojave. This one might not have fire in it, because there's quite a bit difference in this, and there really can't be anything different genetically with these two other than one has fire and one doesn't. But if that's just a regular GHI, or sorry, I don't know why I keep saying that. If that's a regular Enchi Mojave, that's a really, really nice one. And here is an Enchi Fire Pastavi. So these two are the same, except this has got pastel in it as well. I'm going to put this one away because these guys are getting kind of squirmy. And then here, this is a GHI Fire, and I think there may be Enchi in it too. I don't think that one has Mojave in it. I think I got a little too much light pattern in there. It's definitely a GHI. I would say it definitely has Fire in it. I know that one's a little bit of a head scratcher for me. Might have to let it grow up a little bit before I know for sure. Then this one right here is the real gem of this clutch. That is a crazy Paradox GHI Mojave, possible Enchi, probable pastel, possibly Fire. I mean, who knows, with it being a Paradox like that, it could have all kinds of things in it, in parts of it anyway. Look at the head on that thing. I love that snake, and I might even keep it just because it's so crazy, and it's a male too, so I could just breed it to other things and just see what pops out of it. I love it when I hatch these weird Paradox things out, which happens a lot. I probably hatched out 20 snakes with paradoxing this year. Just a really bizarre snake. And there he goes. Okay, well, I think that's all I have to show you today. So I will hopefully be back again in about 2 weeks with another new video. I've got a few more clutches, some Super Orange Dream stuff that just hatched out that I'd like to show off a little bit. So as soon as those shed, I'll do another video. And then I still got about 20 more clutches incubating yet, and then I'll be getting plenty more clutches as the spring and summer goes on too. So I'm still hoping to do some holdback videos of some of my stuff that you may have seen in videos earlier early last year that I held back to add to my breeding collection. Some of those have gotten a lot bigger now, and I'd like to show some of that stuff to show you just some projects that I'm working on. So hopefully I'll have a chance to do those too, and in the meantime I'll try to keep up with these hatching videos too. So make sure to check out my website to see what I have for sale at royalconstrictordesigns.com, and then also make sure to like my Facebook page. A lot of the stuff ends up on Facebook before it ends up in a video. So stay tuned, and I'll come back with more soon.